Hello and welcome to the LFC Transfer Room pre-game Red Debates with myself, Matty and Ben. We're missing Jack from the Dream Team, but we're here today. How are we, ladies and gents? You two, how are we?
I'm brilliant. How are you, Chris?
I'm great, mate. How are you, Ben?
Nervous.
It wouldn't be a Red Debates without Ben being nervous. Get all your comments in. Ask us any questions you want. If you want to be pulled up on the stream and all that kind of stuff, we'd love to hear everything you have to say. So, Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen. So, if we win tonight, we go fourth. How does that sound? Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? Matty, how
you have to win
first. So, first off, Ben, we'll start with you, Ben, actually. How are you feeling about the game?
I feel like it's not come at the best time, really, after just one defeat in our last 5 games. Granted, and that was against bottom of the league as well. So there's not much confidence to draw from. That's positive to take from the game against Sheffield. But this is the big test. This is the one we need to show up to. This is the one where we need to be in our top form, because I feel like it's a cliche. People say this is a cup final for us. This game is going to decide our season, and that's why I'm very nervous about it.
Matty?
I'm not nervous at all. I said before the Sheffield United game, I was more confident about this than the Sheffield United game. So I think Klopp's got Tuchel's number, and 4-0. I'm saying me easy, light work.
Okay, so Bury Town Watch says, do you think if we win tonight, this could push us to get Champions League next season? Well, we'll be in the Champions League places. However fraudulent it may seem, we will be in the Champions League places. It will come if we do win tonight. It is as I said on the Redscast podcast, we'll plug it, Matty's pod. I said that this game changes the perspective of everyone on Liverpool Football Club this season. Even after this bad run, we will end up in 4th place if we win this game. If we don't, then we are, well, it almost seems like the season's over. As Ben said, it seems like it's like a knockout game. It almost feels like that. I know there's so many league games to go, but it does feel like it's got a knockout feel to it, hasn't it?
It's a cup final. As simple as that. It's a cup final. More so for us than Chelsea, which will be an advantage for them in that regards, because they can kind of play for the draw, and a draw is still a good result for them, whereas we need to win. A draw is not good enough today. We need a win.
Do you think a draw is good enough for them as well, though, considering that United and Leicester both drop points? As their 4th place isn't really secure, is it? So they're going to have to attack us, because they're going to want to win this game regardless.
No, I think the way Tuchel's played is he's obviously very proud of his unbeaten run so far. And the way he plays is he's happy with a draw. And at the end of the day, a draw keeps them well above us in the league. And, yes, they'll still be behind West Ham, but it's West Ham. Like, West Ham are going to drop off eventually. So I think they're in a very healthy position right now, Chelsea. Way better position than we are. This game will be us, I think, initiating the attacks and taking the incentive to go forward.
100%. As you can see rolling on the bottom of your screen, this is the confirmed 11. Alisson in goal, returning after his bereavement. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kabak, Fabinho in for Phillips, who's nowhere to be seen, and Andy Robertson. Gini Wijnaldum, Curtis Jones, Matty's boy, and Thiago Alcantara with Salah, Mane, and Firmino up top. And leave us your comments. What do you think of the team? And let's all the question, boys. Forget where's Wally. Where's Nat Phillips?
He's got to be injured, Annie. He's got to be. You can't just be dropped completely from the bench. Reece Williams on the bench as well, who's meant to be back with the under-23s. So maybe Nat Phillips adds to the injury worries of this year that we keep seeming to be getting. I'm disappointed Steve Fabinho in the 6, to be honest. And the centre-back, I'd rather see him in the 6, to be honest. But if Nat Phillips is injured, it makes sense really, doesn't it? From not make the bench, he is injured.
Yeah, we're very well, Uzziah. I hope I haven't butchered your name there, mate.
See, the thing is, I feel like it's kind of a blessing in disguise that Phillips is injured, because as much as he was okay against Sheffield, I feel like this is the game where he would have been destroyed on pace. Like if you remember the game against Brighton when he absolutely got annihilated due to his lack of pace by Neil Mopai, and they kept going for own goal 1-on-1 with us. I think they had like 3 or 4 1-on-1s. Timo Werner would have had him on a plate today and had his dinner as that Phillips.
Do you not think though? Do you not think though? Because I don't know what the Chelsea team is. If anyone can let us know, is Werner playing? What's happening? Have they got
Werner's starting? It's Ziyech and Mason Mount as the sort of attacking midfielders, and then you have Kante, Jorginho. I think it's a back five.
No Olivier Giroud though.
No Giroud in the starting.
That's good news for us, in my opinion, because he always causes us a few problems.
Yeah, with Fabinho starting, if Phillips was starting, I'd rather Giroud start because of quite good aerially.
It does look like a back five because it's Mendy, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, James, Jorginho, Kante, Chilwell, Ziyech, Mount, and Werner. I'm worried about Ziyech. This could be the game that he turns up and he's world class when he's on his day. Really, but I'm not worried about that team. I think it's quite a defensive team. Like they're coming to sit back and.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. They're kind of coming to sit back, and I think they're going to be trying to exploit us on the counter.
It's a bit harsh on Ozan. Bit harsh on the lad. You got to back Ozan Kabak. I think.
Yeah, it's too early to tell. It's still settling in. People have to remember he's still settling in. He's still getting adjusted to the Premier League. It's way too early to judge him on anything. Yeah,
he's like 3 years younger than Nat Phillips. So if you laud him,
he hasn't been bad either. Why are people worried about him? He hasn't been bad.
Exactly. He had a few shaky moments, but
overall, he's been all right, hasn't he? So no need to worry. Just go ahead.
So, as I said, very surprised Werner's up front tonight. Thought Tuchel might go with Giroud and Werner on the left, going against TAA and Kabak. Would that have been a better way to exploit Liverpool, do you think?
I think Trent would have had Werner's number.
Yeah. I think this is the best way. Like if you look at how teams have set up against us, with this, I think,
5-4-1.
Yeah, it's the best way to set up against us. But then again, if you look at the last time a sort of big team played a back five against us, which was Leipzig, we did all right. We did all right, not too bad.
But didn't Tottenham play a back five against us as well?
Yeah, and it's a weird one. You wouldn't expect Chelsea to be going like that, will they? In terms of Tuchel football, he's always had his bad moments at Anfield. Do you think is tonight his best chance yet to have to overcome the Anfield hoodoo?
Yes.
No.
Oh, go on, Matty. Go on, lad.
I think tonight Liverpool overturn their Anfield hoodoo. We've been poor at home the past few weeks, and we've got to win at some point. I honestly do think Liverpool are better against the big teams in the Big Six mini league this year. We've only lost to City. I think we're top of that Big Six mini league. Always turn up against bigger teams, so there's no need to worry. It's the lower teams that were bad against. I'd be more worried about Fulham next week than Chelsea tonight.
Ben?
Well, I think just on paper, like he's got to feel the most confident he's ever been going to Anfield. No fans, very sort of fragmented Liverpool side. We have a makeshift centre back, a very young centre back. It's definitely the weakest Liverpool side he's ever faced.
Do you think this is weaker than the 15-16 team?
Yeah. Or on the balance of the team. But then would I don't think the Dortmund team he had is probably better than the Chelsea team he has now.
Oh, well, mate, that Dortmund team was insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang, Royce, all of them scored on that night. An unbelievable team. But yeah, so Anthony says absolutely right. Just to bang on time, Tuchel's best chances when he was 3-1 up, and when he got leveled at 2-2 at PSG. So Uzziah again, reckon we might play with the asymmetrical formation we use against Sheffield United, or will we go back to a solid 4-3-3? I hope we stick to it because it worked against Sheffield United, but whether he'll change it up for Chelsea, I don't know what you think, Matty.
I think he might stick with it. We looked really good going forward. We didn't look that bad at the back. Trent in the first half off a cover for the centre backs, but I'm a lot more confident because Fabinho adds that. Fabinho this season for me has been one of the best centre halves in the world, and he's not even a centre half. So if he's playing, it's as good as.
I disagree with the best centre half in the world there.
Who's better than him, Ben? Come on.
I can name probably Aston Villa's defenders have played better than him this season. just Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings have been better than Fabinho. Fabinho has given away a lot of penalties as well. One against Sheffield United, he gives away a lot of free kicks. I think that he's as sound as he is at the back. There is a dangerous element about him when he's defending inside the box that tends to worry me when he's going up against players one-on-one inside the box.
Yeah. Timo Werner can't finish his dinner this year. I hope that doesn't come back to chaos me, but he can't finish.
clip it, boys, clip it.
Well, the thing is, knowing our luck, and the fact that we were interested in him, do you think that might inspire him in this game a little bit more?
Maybe. No. But I don't know. He seems like a nice enough fella. Yeah. But I don't.
I mean, on the other hand, the guy who we got after missing out,
he's back on the bench.
So that's a really nice positive, and it's a really nice bonus to have because now we know if things are going to going wrong in the first half or even 60 minutes into the second half, we have Naby Keita to bring on. We have Diego Jota to bring on. So we have these kind of
James Milner
off the bench.
We have James Milner to bring on when we're 1-0 down.
You just know James Milner and Origi are coming on, don't you? Apart from that, it's strong, and them two are going to end up on it.
But I think it's just nice to see the bench have that firepower, somewhat of a firepower back.
It's what happens when players aren't injured, lads. I think that's pretty much about it. And the only ones now that are injured are the centre halves and Hendo. And Phillips, or in whatever happened to him, and Kelleher. So realistically, it's looking a little bit better. It's a shame that those injuries aren't distributed across the team a little bit more, but you know what, we have to be shot to pieces somewhere. We'll talk about last season now in terms of this fixture. We won 5-3 at home, one of the best fixtures I can remember. That wasn't allowed for crowds because obviously, and Matty, I think you said you were outside after that game.
I was outside after Chelsea got beat, and then I was in socially distanced down the road for that game.
Yeah, well, what a game that was. Naby Keita, that's probably one of his best games for Liverpool. And then Oxlade-Chamberlain also scored, and then they're both on the bench today. It's an interesting conundrum with Oxlade-Chamberlain because he can always offer something, but he's just not really seemed on it this season. Do you think he can offer anything both in this game and for the rest of the year?
No, I like Ox, but I think we've got better players than him now, and I think because he hasn't played much this season, he probably will maybe look to leave in the summer. He left Arsenal because he weren't getting played down the middle, because he's not getting played really at all. I think he might go and look for another challenge, maybe that's abroad or something. But I do like him. I think he's just a bit like Sturridge, really, where you think what could have been if he didn't have some bad injuries.
Honestly, the boy had such bad injuries. What do you reckon, Ben?
I don't know. I just think he needs a decent run of games. Really, he just needs to get his fitness back up. That's the main thing. Because I can't remember which game now, but I remember a recent cameo of his when he came on and he looked sharp and he looked good when he came on. I think it was against Leipzig that he came on and he looks really sharp. So I'm hoping, he's working on his fitness. He's trying to get back to his best, and I'm hoping he could also add some firepower off the bench. Because that half a season when he first joined, before his injury, Oxlade-Chamberlain was on fire. He was probably one of our best midfielders before he got injured on our run to the Champions League final. And
absolutely,
we really, when we're struggling to break down teams, we could use his long range shots and efforts from outside the box to, get us over the line. So,
yeah, definitely. In terms of other selections, do you think maybe we could have seen the start of Naby Keita today?
No, I wouldn't rush him back, to be honest. I think that midfield's been playing well in recent weeks. I wouldn't take Curtis Jones out, not just because he's a legend in my or because he's been our best player, hasn't he, really, in the past few weeks. He's been so consistent, so I wouldn't take him out. And I wouldn't take Thiago out either, because I think he probably is the best midfielder in the team if he's on his day. So why take him out? And there's no point risking Keita. Chelsea are a physical team. It'd be good to come on off the bench, maybe with José as an impact sub if we do need a goal, because he's creative.
I'm curious to see how Chelsea will set up, because whether Mount and Ziyech will be sort of like wingers or more sort of inverted wingers behind Werner. I'm curious to see, because if they do just have Jorginho and Kante in midfield, I think that's correct, right? Because they're playing with a back five. Yeah. So if they do just have Jorginho and Kante in midfield, it could open up space for Thiago and Curtis Jones to kind of exploit areas there.
Absolutely. It's a difficult one with Naby, because you want to really get him back in the team, get him playing, get him firing, but then you don't want to rush him back because he might get injured again. Right, so we won't have too much longer on today, but we'll all be back for post match, I believe. But is there any sort of other topics that you'd fancy covering in terms of the main Chelsea threats, barring Werner, of course, Ben? Mason Mount has been quite a decent. He's improved massively this season. So how have you felt about maybe facing him in his top form, Matty?
I'm not that worried about him either. I think he's overrated, to be honest with you. Probably an unpopular opinion, but I think he's overrated. I don't think he would have got in that Chelsea team if Frank Lampard wasn't the manager. I know he stayed in with Tuchel, but I think they've got better midfielders, and I don't think he's as good as people make out. Yeah, he has good games, but doesn't turn up against the big teams, and we're a big team, so he's not going to turn up.
I disagree. I think he's a very good player, and he's definitely one of Chelsea's bigger threats. Him and Ziyech playing in that sort of number 10 role, both of them, does worry me with, because they'll have Werner in front of them who likes to run in behind defenses, and through balls is where we've been caught out recently. So I think Tuchel did the right thing by putting them two in, and I think that's the angle they're going to exploit when they're attacking. They're going to be trying to thread those through balls through.
I agree with Anthony. Not as good as Curtis Jones. He hasn't. Curtis Jones.
I think Mason Mount has definitely put down way more than Curtis Jones has so far. But in terms of potential, I don't know. I think it's kind of a mixed one. Who knows? Yeah, too early.
With Chelsea is Pulisic. I'm made up. He's on the bench. He's world class. I'm gutted he never come to us. When he came on in the game last year, he looked dangerous. I absolutely think he's world class. He's could be as good as Eden Hazard for Chelsea, but if for some reason he doesn't play consistently, but when he does play, he's boss to watch. So he's the biggest threat for me. So he's on the bench. So I think we beat Chelsea.
Hudson-Odoi as well. Yeah. He's very good.
He might come on and get sucked off again, though, he?
We did cover this earlier, but happy with Fab at the back. I'm happy to see Fab back, but maybe not at the back. Maybe it should have been, but we don't know what's happened to Nat Phillips. He's disappeared off the face of this earth, so we never know what's going on there. But it's great to see Fabinho back. He does provide a calming presence, and we all know he's absolutely world class wherever he plays. So that's absolutely fine. 3-1 easy win, Anthony. We'll go on to our predictions now. So what we thinking, Mr. Matty Orm? We'll go for score, man of the match, and goal scorers.
4-0. Mo Salah, and I think Salah, Jones, Thiago, and Mane are all going to get one each.
Thiago. Ben.
I feel like this game is tough to predict. You never know which Liverpool side is going to turn up and which Chelsea side is going to turn up. So I'm just going to sit on the fence and go with a draw.
That's what. Maybe that's why.
Loss. We always win when you predict a loss.
But what man of the match and goal scorers, mate?
Come
on.
I
push the boat out?
It's gonna be a boring, potentially 0-0 or 1-1 draw. A man of the match. I guess for Liverpool, right? So not the whole game. Man of the match, I'd say maybe a midfielder, Curtis Jones again.
Nat Phillips has well and truly been put back in the basement. I'm gonna go.
Look, I'll say one thing. I don't know because Dan just commented. I'm not really feeling Jones today, but I have a feeling about Jota. Today.
Yeah.
My spidey senses are telling me Jota might get a goal.
When you know Ben's.
If he comes on, I think he'll score as well.
When Ben's spidey senses going, you know something's happening. So I'm going to go 3-2 Liverpool. And I'm going to go for a Bobby goal, a Salah goal, and a Jota goal in the last minute after Mason Mount has scored 2 for Chelsea. Because
I'm glad I'm not alone in the not.
Mate, I think he's class. I think he's absolutely class.
Yeah.
Mason man, proper Chelsea, mate, proper Chelsea.
I think don't like Chelsea, and he's a proper Chelsea boy, so I don't think I'll ever.
No one likes Chelsea who doesn't support them, to be honest.
Yeah, well, unless you're weird, Donny. Anyway, it is now half an hour till kickoff. I hope you all enjoy preparing for the game. Anything else from the comments? Timo Werner is back home, Dan. No yen, because we got Jota lad. And I think we came off a lot better than that one, don't you? So yeah, boys.
With that, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Before we go, make sure you subscribe to the LFC Transfer YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 650 subscribers very soon, so if we can do that, that'd be excellent. Because if you haven't done that already, that'd be amazing. There's also going to be a FIFA 21 tournament coming soon, guys, which is going to be cool. I'm not participating because I quit that game years ago. So yeah, Football Manager all the way. Anything else from you two?
Up the Reds.
Yeah, up the Reds. And whoever's going to try and beat me at FIFA, you're going to get beat.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and we will see you in a bit.